building that we are thinking of.
All right, so Hayworth was founded under 6 values, and we're going to right now talk about 3 that apply to this part of our presentation, and that's valuing our members, continuous learning, and results. So we proposed that we would build in this 17,000 square feet right outside in the field a building that's 3 stories, and it's basically layover space. So this building would cost about $2 million, which we got that information from Reconstruction Data, to construct. And annually, it would bring in about $738,000 to the company by retaining employees instead of losing them. And in 3 years, it would in turn pay for itself. And so we would use the 3rd floor for collaborative meetings between groups like HR and IT, and together they could work together on how to speed up and lower costs and quality of production. And the 2nd floor would be training stations. We would bring in training specialists, which would make around $50,000 to $70,000 a year, and they could basically brush up current employees up to par on new and changes to their fields that they're currently in. Like HR could learn new techniques on how to run faster. And we could also train on site instead of having to spend money and time on sending them elsewhere. And now we will talk about the 1st floor. Okay.
On the 1st floor, there will be a Montessori-based child care center for the children. Montessori learning is characterized by an emphasis on independence, freedom within limits, and a respect for a child's psychological development. The interaction with their environment will further allow them to develop their independence. The lessons would typically be presented to a small group of children who would then break off and do independent work on that subject. This feature will attract and retain many innovative members. The members won't have to worry about finding a child care center near their home and how they're going to get their children there in the morning and pick them up, because there'll be one right here at Hayworth at their place of work. It will save a lot of time and a lot of stress. For a snow day, instead of worrying, oh, I'm going to get to work late, they can just bring their children here, and all ages can come, and they won't have to worry about where they're going to be. The Montessori approach will also let children explore by themselves and become creative and innovative themselves. Innovative people want innovative Einstein-like children, and this is a perfect opportunity for that. When people relocate here from other countries or even visit the beautiful headquarters, their children can be cared for in the center, so there will be no worries about who's going to take care of them and should they stay in the hotel, because they're right here and it's a great learning center for them. Another huge benefit of this child care center is it's very cheap for members. The cost per month for members would be about $200 to $300 a month, instead of the usual $500 to $600 per month at usual daycare places. According to Forbes and CNN, SAS, which is the 3rd best company in the world to work for in 2012, has a per month fee of $410. The average per month of public daycares is about $620 per month. So that's a $200 savings for members. And other large companies such as Men's Warehouse and Aflac also have daycare centers at their headquarters, and many members use them in their benefits. The average American parent misses about 9 workdays a year due to daycare-related issues, which cost about $3 billion annually for businesses in the United States. This child care center here would reduce the days that people are absent and would increase Hayworth income. Using a formula from Cornell University with Hayworth information inserted in, about $738,000 would be lost because of employees missing 1 to 9 days of work of child care related issues. So by gaining this money, the cost of the $2 million building would pay off in about 2.7 years. So after that, it would be a huge benefit for the company, and they would not have a loan or lose any money for a lot of time. This center will also attract middle-aged people who already have experience and are already very innovative, so Hayworth gets these members. And if younger single members get married and have children later, they know that Hayworth has a great spot for their children, and they'll feel safe still working at Hayworth with their children here. Hayworth will also have the opportunity to test a new line of furniture. They could make kids' furniture and furnish this daycare center and see if they like making the line. If they will have a great new kids line and get more business by that. Another huge thing that Hayworth could add is family support network. I know Hayworth values its members so much, and so a family or parent network could strengthen the relationships between families and Hayworth and get that bond very strong. A family and social science intern could be brought in to help families connect in the more formal setting and talk about how their family's doing and have social events like playdates for the children outside of daycare, family outings like movies, booking game clubs, or even cooking classes with the amazing chefs that this building has. This network will also help non-Hayworth spouses and family members feel more connected to this superb company. In conclusion, as Matthew Hayworth said, the cheapest thing isn't always the best quality. So even though this building may be expensive, it will pay off in the end, and Hayworth will be preparing for the future. Thank you.
We now have 3 to 5 minutes for Q&A.
First of all, really well done. I had a couple of questions. Josh, when you talked about the integration of the building, can you just tell me a little bit about what your thinking was around having that building? Because you actually presented the function of the building.
Right.
But why do you think we need that building, and why do you think we can't use the existing space?
Well, right now the existing space, there are a lot of meeting rooms, but you don't really see them designated for all members, like from different departments to use. So just asking around, we didn't really see many people that knew each other from HR and IT, or HR and payroll, because payroll told us to go to HR, and HR told us to go to payroll, and we were all over the place and nobody could tell us. So if they could just come together and collaborate on different issues that they have, that would be great. So that would be the 3rd floor, and then that would just be a designated area. They actually have a place. And then the 2nd floor was more of a training for, let's say, you know, I mean, it would look good on Hayworth to say, oh, right there, that is our Hayworth Educational and Collaboration Facility. And it would be on site, ready to use. It just really looks good and reflects well on the company. So it's an innovative new way to train up-to-date employees and also bring in new ones.
And this is for the whole team. I'm not sure if I heard sufficiently how you define innovation or how we define innovation. Can you speak to that?
Innovation is more of a change in something that's already there. Instead of invention is more of a creating something new, and it's all sparked by the thought of creativity. There's a need for change, there's a need for something new, or even if there's not, it's like the sign in the cafeteria says that there's not one single thing we're doing that we can't do better. And that's innovation.
So even though there's spaces around here, it wouldn't be making a new building like new. It'd just be innovating it and putting them all together into one to make it all connected.
I just had a quick question, and maybe I missed it, but the tour time involvement, was that similar to the Coast Guard, that it would be a float that we would participate, or did you want to say?
No, it'd be pretty much the same thing, just 2 different events. Because
Okay.
different people go to both things.
Okay.
I think that was pretty good holistic thinking overall. So well done. I guess my question is the connection between the 2 elements of high school. So the connection between the awareness building program of Tour de Path, Coast Guard Fest, our products and stuff, and this here. Did you think about some of those essential connections that were included?
They could also advertise and be at these events.
A lot of kids go, I mean, a lot of families with kids go there, so they see this building has an amazing Montessori child care center. They'll want their kids to be educated and have fun there.
Sorry, would there be a potential in your mind with the Montessori be just for your employees' children, or could somebody else that heard of how great it was that doesn't necessarily work here?
We were thinking of just private to help Hayworth members feel more secure, but if Hayworth does want to open up to the public, it's up to you. It's up to Hayworth.
we're also thinking, we're more of a generation of multiple ideas. Whereas previous generations are more like, you know, this is what we're gonna do, we're sticking to it. Right now, there's too many answers. You know, like there are too many ways to go about something to just choose one. And I think everyone now is sort of opening up to that. So that's why we have multiple perspectives on it. We have getting our name out there, and then we have we can actually see it materialistically on site. Whereas the other one, Hayworth employees might not even, you know, I mean, we're getting it out there. And that's the attraction portion, and then the retaining would be actually offering it here to current employees.
So let's talk a bit about the attraction, because you cited 3 specific venues or events. So those would be great platforms to communicate Hayworth. But what is the messaging about Hayworth that you're communicating when you're at Archives, or when you're at Tulip Time, or when you are at the Coast Guard Festival? So it's a platform to talk about Hayworth, but what about Hayworth will you be saying? Or should we be saying?
Well, if Hayworth did sponsor like an artist, like I said, an artist and art prize, that would show our values, because that would show that we love our customers and stuff. That would show, yeah, just that we love people and we like helping people. And also in the Tulip Time parade and Coast Guard, if we gave out like pens and free things, people would just know about Hayworth. Like Hayworth does sponsor art prize, but I asked 3 people from here, and they said that they didn't. So if Hayworth just gets recognition.
So the recognition then is, end the sentence for me, the recognition that Hayworth would get is?
I guess just being aware of Hayworth, like people would just be aware of Hayworth, investigate it more, and you could even go more in depth and just tell what Hayworth does and how they're innovative and how they have these amazing, fantastic chairs and walls, and you can go more in depth as well.
It shows to me that Hayworth as a whole values more than just, you know, our furniture and stuff. We value our members. I mean, you can see it. You walk down the hall and you see people living it out. You don't just walk down the hall and see them in their cubicle doing work. I mean, people are encouraged to take breaks. They're encouraged to think. And that's what this company has that no one else does. And that's what I think we should actually get out there, because nobody sees that.
So I'm all about the connections. I want to ask your thoughts on the connections between the second floor and the third floor. I think there's some inherent connection between some of the things.
The second floor with the actual teaching could be, like, as far as collaboration goes, it would be people that are already working. And then the second floor would be people that are working here that need more training. So as far as that would go, there would be interaction between 2. I don't know exactly how you're asking that more.
I'm thinking about some of the individuals you mentioned, bringing people in from the outside, kind of this high-level education. You know, maybe that there's some connections there that can be leveraged throughout the program.
As far as bringing people together, yeah, definitely. I think that it's gonna, if we encourage more people through people that are already here, it would further your education. So anyone here would, I mean, we value furthering education, continual education. So that is what I think it would do, is value it for all employees and members. And altogether, I think everyone would benefit from it.
So we could potentially see connections in some of you guys are talking about. All right. Well, judges, have you asked everything you need to ask? Because otherwise, I think we'll move on to group